Welcome to Transit Talk, Human Design Transits, real talk in real time. I'm Kathy.
And I'm Jess. We meet up about every 6 days to explore the current human design transits and how they're actually showing up in our lives. And we'd love for you to join us.
We're talking energy in the moment, what we're feeling, what we're noticing, and what the transits are stirring up inside us and all around us.
So, whether you're joining us live or listening later, we're glad you're here.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Hey, Jess.
Hi.
I am excited to be here with you in your energy of your conscious sun. It keeps confusing me because I keep thinking it is the sun because it's your sun. And you are the sun. The sun is in gate 33, the gate of retreat, retelling. And I am showing up as my most spiritually bypassing toxic retelling person. Because, the energy of retelling is about going inward and knowing how to tell the story with wisdom. But that
Mhm.
only comes when we take the time to reflect.
Mhm.
And there are those that just want you to sage it away and just bring out your crystals. We can take a little bit. Here's my little beautiful wand that actually a friend made. And I love all of these tools, but
Mhm.
they are not what we do first. The first thing we have to do is go inward. And I don't know what we have to do first. Sometimes we can do them in whatever order feels right, but this is not enough. Not enough.
Oh God, that's so
So
funny.
I wrote it up. Look.
No.
I've got all my crystals. I've got my mood. What do you call it?
Mood board, vision board.
I've got my incense is going. I've got my sage. I've got my selenite. We are all good here.
I love this.
That's me. And what are you doing, my friend?
So today it was so funny. I'm so at peace with this energy right now. Before I was like, oh, feeling all these things. And today I'm like, this just feels like normal. It feels like an everyday kind of day. And like you said, so 19 is my sun, which is our earth right now. And so that is the gate of approach, the gate of wanting. And so for me, I like to call this the needs. It's like about feeling those needs, right? And so I was like, what Disney princess would this be if it was a Disney princess? And I was like, Belle, approaching the beast slowly. And that's part of the energy with that approach. Ra speaks to it. It's like approaching an animal where you have that, you come close and then you wait. And then you come closer and you wait for it to come to you, right? There's like that piece of that energy in it too. So today I'm channeling my Belle vibes, my princess vibes, my vibes, I guess.
Right? Let's
Yes,
realize I
yes,
left my phone over there. I need to make sure that we're live in the group,
yes,
but it's perfect because it is a cross mammalian species gate, right? Gate 19. You should have your beast, right?
yes, exactly.
So that's fun. We've got some, like I said, confusion here because I keep wanting you to go first because it feels like because it's your turn.
It's
So,
you.
yeah, but it's gate 33. And so this is really fun energy to think about because, I have the other half of this channel. I have the 13 and it
Hmm.
forms the channel of the prodigal. And so it's really this beautiful energy of because it's collective energy. And so much when you start to talk about it, you can read a lot of things that talk about this in a way that feels very individual, right? Like the stories that we tell and the things, but it's really about this energy of being able to look at what's happened and tell a different story, tell a wiser story, and to wait until you find the wisdom in the story to voice it. And I have found that we often want to tell the story and get validation or get somebody else's opinion in order to know what our next move is, what we want to do next, right?
Hmm.
And this energy is asking us to tell our story about the collective, about the history, about what's happening, but from a place of deep reflection, not while we're in the midst of it. And this
Hmm.
is what is happening so much right now is a knee-jerk kind of story response. You hear something. And so actually the other thing I almost showed up as I was going to wear a tinfoil hat and show up as a conspiracy theorist. But this, I just had more props for this and I didn't want to waste the tinfoil, right? The environmental. No, but the idea there is so many, there are a lot of things that get dubbed as conspiracy theories that might actually be the truth. But there are a lot
Hmm.
of people who jump on the conspiracy theory bandwagon just because it sounds exciting to share that story and repeat it. And so
Hmm.
we often get this is, I think there's a lot of energy in the shadow of this that can be not telling the story, just denying, but it can also be gossiping, you know, telling the story of what's going on before we have really gotten any real perspective on it. And that comes when we wait. So, do you want to share your little screen to show people where this gate is, or are you in the middle of, you look like
Yes.
you're
Can
in the
you
middle of
see? Can
something.
you see? I'm putting it
I
together.
can
I'm
see,
like,
I can
can you
see
tell?
I
I'm
can see
doing
you're
all the
doing,
things.
she's doing
Yes.
all the things, right?
Doing all the things, and it feels so good. Part of the energy of the 19 is in that lower expression that I have to be super mindful of is needing to be needed, right? And so sometimes picking up so many things, and I feel sometimes I'm doing so many things. And so really coming back to this place of feeling aligned with what I'm doing and being able to say no, especially undefined solar plexus, we get all the nuances, right? So we have it. We have our exciting new, oh, and it's yellow too, which is extra exciting. Let me share. We're doing all kinds of fun, exciting things. Okay, which screen do you see right now? This one. Perfect.
Okay. So
So we have gate 33. Do you want to go through them?
So gate 33 is on, I'll talk about 33 and then you can talk about 19. So it's on the throat center and it's the voice that says, I remember, right?
Mhm.
But it doesn't, this is important. It says, I remember. It doesn't say, I see or I think, because it's not talking about the present moment. This
Mhm.
is the voice of remembering the past with the wisdom that comes from the separation from the event. So
Mhm.
this is this energy, and like I was talking about how I have the gate 13 that connects it to the identity center there, that forms the channel of the prodigal. So if you think about the wisdom of the whole channel, this is like, the famous story from the Old Testament or I think it's in the Torah too. I don't remember which book it's in, sorry. I would disappoint so many people who taught me this stuff right now by not remembering. The story of
All the information.
the prodigal son who goes off and sees the world and leaves his family, right? But then when he comes home and has all the stories to tell and all the things to learn, and it's not necessarily that he in that story he was that well received, but it was the wisdom that he brought. So I love this energy. This gate 13 is my conscious moon, and it's also both of my Saturn gates. I just had my second Saturn return a couple years ago. So I know this gate 13 energy very well, but the gate 33 is the wisdom to wait until after you're in the experience to share, right? The gate 13 is the gate of the listener, whereas the gate 33 has the voice of I remember. So
Mhm.
the gate 13 listens and collects these stories as part of themselves, and the gate 33 then can share it with this wisdom. And it's important that we don't try to minimize the pain in these stories. You'll notice there are some people that don't like to talk about the bad stuff. They like to right away get to the good stuff. Think about it's a natural response, most of us, right? My dog just died last week, and many people right away want to make you feel better. And they say things like, "Oh, they're not in pain anymore. Oh, they're with my other dog." Those sort of things. We say those things and it's a natural kind of response. But we have a quick knee-jerk reaction of let's get to the part where we all feel good again. And then
Mhm.
the other thing that often happens is a lot of people don't want don't feel comfortable when you get in the point where you're remembering, especially when you're remembering painful things, right? When people don't want to sit and listen because it's depressing, or they think if they don't say anything, then maybe you'll stop talking and then you'll feel better. Let me
Mhm.
change the subject to make them feel better. But this gate 33 energy is really asking us to remember the good and the bad and to share from a place of wisdom that you have gained from that. So
Mhm.
sometimes it's not great to share when you're like in the heart of still trying to make sense of an experience. That's sharing from the expression, share from the scar, not from the wound,
Mhm.
right? So that's sometimes important, but we do need to be able to sometimes talk about the wound with
Mhm.
certain people. And so I think that this is really a beautiful energy to reflect on and really think about. And it's great that it's grounded in this sensitivity, this gate 19. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got the 33 here, and then we've got the 19 over here, which is what we're grounded in right now. So the 19 is down here in the root. So remembering the root is that pressure, right? Feeling that pulse, feeling that pressure. And so we have the full channel right here if you have the 49. And so 49 is like principles, it's revolution, it's like helping that 19 because 19 is really deeply rooted into rooted into into that place where it's like what are those needs, but it's like these needs of like survival needs, like basic needs of like food and shelter and love and like connection, like very like you think about that hierarchy of needs, it's that base, it's that starting place. And the 19 is also the start of the mystical way. And so that channel together, the 1949, that is that channel of synthesis. And so the 19's kind of going like, okay, what are the needs? What's the wanting? How do we approach this? And then that 49 brings that energy of like, well, is this for our highest good? Is this, something that I want to reject because it's not with my ideals, with my principles? Um, so I have that 19, I don't have that 49. So just seeing how that plays out for you in that energy right now of that grounding. Um,
You don't
look,
have it defined, but I just want to clarify, I know it's semantics, but I know you understand that we all have all the chart. You just don't have it defined.
yes, yes, I don't have the 49 defined. Yes, absolutely. And so we have that and experiencing that in a different way. And I almost feel like my sensitivity is a little bit more pronounced right now in this energy as well. Let's share
Yeah.
the next one.
And I'm curious because I was listening to Ra talk about the 19 and I'm wondering, do you make sure your fridge is always full?
It was so funny. Yeah, that's something Rod jokes about with the 19 that it's about these resources and it's about feeling good and feeling fully resourced. And so for the 19, that it feels good to have your fridge fully stocked, even if you just have the boxes, which is funny because I do. I always have a full fridge. I have my basics. We always have blueberries. We always have apples. We always have the basic things. I always have at least 4 milks and eggs. So yeah, it brings me happiness. And I never before a human design, I never thought about that, right? So absolutely love that. Are you seeing our mandala?
Yes, I will say though that something happened and you're
Oh,
missing the hexagrams I just want to clarify, not to be critical, but only in case somebody reads it and is confused. There's a little bit of formatting issue on the 19, so it shows that the shadow is co and that the gift is dependence.
in the
Because
spacing, yes.
because it went down and so we'll need to make sure to
Yes.
clarify that the
Yes.
shadow is codependence, the gift is sensitivity, and the is
The shadow
sacrifice.
is co. Don't
Yeah.
co.
And the gift is not dependence. So it was just a little formatting issue there, Jess. I think were you doing this while we were on the call?
So I was doing the other one, but I guess when I saved it, it saved it a little bit interestingly. Yes, so exactly like Kathy said. So right now we have the 33. That's our sun right now in the transit. So that's over here. What are we looking at? We're in the quarter of civilization. And so
Right?
noticing that sun energy, this is purpose fulfilled through form. And then we have on the opposite side, because remember the sun and earth always on the opposite side, that 19 Aquarius energy. And this is in the quarter of mutation. So our rounding is in mutation right now, which is purpose fulfilled through that transformation. And so the gate 33 is privacy, it's retreat. I didn't have Karen's. What is Karen's for 33?
Oh, I knew this. Brain dead.
33 is
33,
brain
I
dead.
want to say I was going to say it's the narrator, but it's not. It's retelling, maybe?
Okay.
Let me
Uh,
look it up.
yeah, absolutely. And then gate 19,
No, the
which,
narrator is 13.
mm, that makes sense. 19 is that wanting, it's that approach,
Yeah,
it's
retelling.
sensitivity, retelling. Okay. And definitely, I mean, if anybody knows me at all, I'm very sensitive. Just, watching even kids' movies and sad parts, I'm sitting crying, and the kids are like, it's okay, mom. Deeply feeling. So on that 33 again, we've got on the shadow end of this, it's forgetting. And then the gift in it is mindfulness. And then that highest expression, that city is that revelation. And that's just the progress through those. Then the 19 is codependence. And this was a hard one for me to look at in my life, but a very beautiful thing when I became aware of that codependence. And then the gift is sensitivity. And then that city and that highest expression is sacrifice. And when I first heard that, I was like, what? Sacrifice? That sounds terrible. I don't want to sacrifice things, right? And this was actually when we were doing the karma clearing with Chaitan and Kerala. And the way that Kerala verbalized this was really beautiful. It's sacrifice, it's knowing that there's something bigger out there, and you get to sacrifice it to that. You get to feel the needs, you get to feel all of the things, but know that you are not solely responsible for to be the person to do it. You get to sacrifice that in. Yeah, was there anything? And then the mandalas aren't there, which is very sad after all the work we did.
And hexagrams. I don't know why they didn't load. We
I
spent a lot
know
trying to find those and get those there.
we
Huh.
spent a lot of time on those. So we will take a
Interesting.
look for next week. But yeah.
Yeah, but that's great. Yeah, and gate 19 is the gate of attunement in quantum human design. And that's really beautiful energy when you think about it because it's attuning to the needs of the tribe. And that's where the sensitivity helps you to really attune. And the tribe is not just the people. It is the that connection with the mammals and in nature. And it's this really beautiful energy that I
Mhm.
really think the sacrifice part is not it's not meant to mean like, oh, your life is all just you have to sacrifice. It is really this beautiful higher self kind of thing of like, I am here to do what's necessary for the tribe, and I will make that sacrifice willingly and lovingly, much like we often do as mothers, right? Where we say, I'm really tired, but I'm going to stay up because my kid has this whatever sickness, sadness, whatever. These times where
Yeah.
we just do the things because, and
Mhm.
not because they made us, but because we choose to. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And
So
something else that's like really really important with this 19 is like setting your boundaries and knowing your boundaries, because there is this energy of it to overgive, where it's like you can feel the needs of other people and you're like, oh, because I can feel it and tune into what they need, that you feel like you may become responsible for that. But setting those boundaries, like honoring your time and your energy, is this a yes? Like you can feel that, but then tuning into whatever your authority is this correct for me? Just because you have that awareness of it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like yours to correct or do something. So boundaries have been a really big thing in my life. And another thing to notice for a lot of people, I have a lot of emotional waves, and then Lisa put that in there as well. She has 3 emotional wave channels at the moment because, if with the transit right now with the 19, if you have the 49, then you're going to have that channel of synthesis. And then also, here, let's actually go
got the
back.
30, we've got the 19, we've got the 39, we've got the 41, we've got the 6, and we've got the 22. So
Mhm.
if you have any of those counterparts,
Yeah.
or even just the moments when the moon goes through goes through a transit or something, when we have it for a little bit, there's a lot of emotional energy out there.
Mhm.
But if you notice, one thing we didn't talk about was the one channel that we all have active right now in the
Mm,
collective is that 2057.
that brainwave, yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
think about what that energy is all about, it's this intuitive energy of the seeing or hearing actually, because that's the right ear, right? So right, left ear. I always get backwards on
Can't
this.
remember.
I always forget, right? Is it
Yeah.
is it literally how I'm looking at it, or is it how I'm pretty sure it's the right ear. And that 22 is the left ear. So if anybody knows and I have it backwards, put it in the thing. I just can't remember at the moment. But I have the 57 defined in my chart. So this 20 energy though is that in the present, in the moment, right? Energy with that 57 seeing the future. So there's so much like intuition that comes through with this channel. And
Yeah.
it can, yeah. So I don't know. Did I interrupt what you were going to say? I just started talking while you were sharing.
Oh, no, not at all. I was checking Facebook real quick. Karen was just sharing. That makes me laugh. I've not heard about the fridge. I have the 1949 channel and my fridge is always full. Yes.
Right.
I mean, it's a comfort thing. It is. It definitely it helps. So yeah, I just was going to say, so we just yesterday we had the 1222 and the 12, listen, that well, 2212, that hits me a very certain way, that openness. I can definitely feel that one in me. So we had that whole channel activated as well. And then if you have the 59, I have the 59, you've got this one, the source wave as well. And then 49, 55 if you have, and 30. So there's a lot of those emotional waves. And then, yeah, like you said, everybody right now is experiencing, and this is a beautiful one for me because I have a split. And my throat is connected to my G, but it's not connected to my spleen and anything below. So this energy feels really delicious for me. And it's that brainwave, it's that penetrating awareness, because gate 57 is in the spleen, right? And that's about that intuition. And so 57 is intuitive insight, which Kathy was saying she has. And then I have the 20, and the 20 is about the now, right? So it's like this awareness in the now. But there's a piece of shallowness in the 20 because it's not about going really, really, really deep into something. It's about this present awareness of what's happening right now in this moment. So just, yeah, noticing how that transit's showing up for you right now.
And
And
then we've got, oh, good.
no, no, no. I was just seeing, okay, because it's also, so it's the moon. So it's not going to be, we're not going to be in this one too long. I always like to
Yeah,
check.
no, that's just for 11 hours now. But then we also have tomorrow, we're going to have Mercury, which is retrograde, will be Cazimi, which means it's going to be exactly conjunct the sun. So
Mhm.
we'll have that in this gate of retelling as well. And I think in my transit report, I put that it was in gate 31. It's not, it's in gate 33. That's where the sun is. And then we've also got some other things going on with the moon later in the week, just to be aware of, because the moon on Sunday will be in gate 34, which will then connect with that 20 energy and give everybody that channel of charisma feeling, right? Remember, we don't have it, we just have that feeling. We also have on this same day, a little bit later in the day, Venus moves into gate 52, and then the moon will connect with that with 9. So we'll feel that gate 52, 9 channel of concentration. Then on
I always love that one.
right,
Yes.
the same day, Mars goes into gate 46, which will be really honestly kind of nice to have it out of gate 6, because Mars in the gate of crisis is a little bit
A
ah,
little bit of a
right,
thing.
that aggressive energy in there. So it'll go into gate 46, the gate of embodiment. So we have
Mm,
a lot of changes happening in the energies this Sunday. And so each of these adds like a layer of insight or pressure that just to be aware of, because when you start to feel these pressures, you can kind of check yourself and say, wait a minute,
mhm,
is this really correct for me to want to do whatever these things are making me feel pressure to do? Am I using my own energy, my strategy, my authority to make these decisions? Because we get all these different things. And most importantly, this week, what are the stories you're telling yourself about all these things that you're feeling? So when these things activate, what's the story you're telling? And are you sitting with it in that sensitivity, in that connected feeling of knowing that you're connected with everything,
mhm.
right?
Yeah, just
And,
wanted to add real quick. So 6 is friction, 36 is
oh,
crisis. I think you said, yeah, with
yeah,
all of those,
you know
but
what?
friction,
So six
yeah.
is also called chaos sometimes. And I always
Yeah,
feel like chaos,
conflict. Conflict, chaos,
conflict, or something like
crisis,
that. I don't
all
know.
the
They all feel like to me. So yeah,
friction. I
yeah,
don't know because I have the 59 and with that 6, that intimacy, yeah. So
yeah. I got
yeah.
the 59 as well. So that joins up a split for me as well. So,
Yeah.
okay. So,
Oh, nice. Lisa, right now I have all my centers defined. Ooh. Ooh.
wow. Hmm.
Would love to hear more about that. Did you want to go through the lines first and then?
Yeah, I think it might be time for that cosmic weather report, right? Let me,
Yes, not sharing.
I should be quicker at this, but I'm, oh, uh, this one.
Listen, this is time
Okay.
two.
Right? What?
I said this is time two. It's perfect. Let's
All
go.
right, now it's time for our weekly cosmic weather forecast, where we bring you the daily line by line flavor of the current transit. We need some music for this, I think.
Dun, da, da,
Think of
da,
this as
da.
your energetic weather report, complete with high chance of feels and a low pressure system of wisdom just waiting to land. Today, Wednesday, brings us line one energy of avoidance with a mix of interdependence. The shadow weather, people may seem emotionally unavailable or withdrawn. Others might reach out awkwardly, seeking connection, but unsure how to hold it. It's the kind of day where everyone wants a little space, but no one wants to be alone. The gift forecast, there's a quiet power in knowing when to pull back and when to lean in. Healthy boundaries and mutual support can both exist when there's self awareness behind them. The line conditions, strong foundations form in silence. Don't be afraid to step back and witness without reacting. Tomorrow, line two, little crabby crab, hermit crab,
He's so
brings
cute.
the energy of surrender with a mix of service. The shadow weather is over giving, is in the air. People might try to serve or fix things that no one actually asked them to. Others could seem passive, waiting for a moment that never comes. The gift forecast, real support comes from overflow, not obligation. If you're grounded, your natural generosity will attract the right allies. The line conditions, this is the let it flow energy. Do what you're called to do, but only if it feels right and natural, feels right in your body. Friday brings us the line three energy of spirit, a mix of dedication. I got too many things open on my screen. I can't even read. Shadow weather. Emotional whiplash is possible. People may commit too fast or ghost mid connection. There's trial and error energy around how we show up for others and ourselves. The gift forecast, this is a great day for quick recovery. If something doesn't feel right, retreat, reset, realign. Line conditions, go with grace. Go with grace. Sometimes pulling back is progress. I'm thinking of the person with the doesn't know their mic is live. From the deeply personal to the dynamically public, Jess, give us the scoop on the upper trigram and how the energy is playing out across the bigger stage this week. You can stop laughing. I hope somebody finds us anywhere
Oh
near as
my
amusing as we find
God.
ourselves.
You've given me the giggles. Okay, everybody, we ready for our line four energy Saturday? Where are we? Saturday. Line four, we are going in Saturday, brings us the energy of dignity with a mix of team player. Shadow weather, expect a little tension in the group dynamics. People might say they're fine, but their energy says otherwise. You could feel pressure to keep the peace while secretly craving quiet. Gift forecast. Sunny side. Composure and compassion make a great team. You don't need to absorb the group mood to be part of the group. Line conditions. Lead with inner calm and let your presence stabilize the room. Sunday brings us line five energy of timing with a mix of sacrifice. Shadow weather. Over responsibility is in the air. Some folks are trying to do too much for too many. Feel that one. Others are withdrawing because they feel overwhelmed by everyone else's expectations. Gift forecast, sunny side. Clear, confident boundaries that are real. MVP today. Delegate when you need to, step in when it serves, protect your time and energy like the precious resource it is. Line conditions. Leadership without self trust burns out fast. Support others, but not at your own expense. And finally, Monday brings us the line 6 energy of disassociation with a mix of recluse. The shadow stormy weather. There's a detachment vibe today. Some people might seem checked out or emotionally distant. It's not personal, but it can feel like disconnection if you don't understand the rhythm. The gift forecast, sunny side. Solitude becomes wisdom when it's intentional. This is a beautiful day for rest, reflection, and tuning in before showing up again. Line conditions. Your quiet doesn't mean you're gone, it means you're recalibrating for what's next. And that's your cosmic weather forecast, folks. There may be chaos in the weather, but you'll find clarity in your chart.
Thanks, Jess. Radical self-trust is still your best umbrella. Follow your strategy and authority and shine your light, my friends. So that's the cosmic weather. We moved it up a little bit. So those of you who are needing to watch quickly can go on. And now we're just going to talk a little bit more about how all this stuff is feeling for us. I know Lisa's here. If you want to come on camera, that's fine. I think somebody was here that I didn't get let in. So if you're watching and you want to come back, I was just in the middle of a thought and if I can't multitask without losing my sentence. But I know you were saying, always think about what it's like when we have the inverse of our conscious sun and earth, right? So, like, you've got the gate 19 is your sun, and you're grounded in this gate 33 energy. And right now, we're like the reverse energy is happening right now. So then I feel like, oh, we're being asked to be grounded in this energy that we also radiate as the majority of who we are. That feels like a different thing than just having some other kind of energy there. And I'm wondering if you're feeling anything on that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a beautiful part of the whole process for me because I feel like when I started, I was trying to ground in my 19. I was like, this is where I find that grounding energy, that stability. This is where I find it. And it's not. And it was really, really hard for me to ground into the 33 because I am in so many places in my chart, just really social, wanting to be there, chat, connect. And so retreat was kind of hard for me. It took a lot of intentional practice to go, I get to be both. I get to be there, be part of the thing, but then honor when I feel like, okay, it's time to disconnect, especially when I'm processing. And it can be a little bit abrupt for people. They're like, where'd you go? Is everything okay? I'm like, everything's fine. I just disconnected because I have to come back within. It's almost, it feels a little bit, I'd imagine like line 2, where it's, I kind of come back into myself. I have to process. I have to find what my answer is in my retreat, in the privacy of my own energy to see how I then want to move forward. And so it's a very push pull energy. It's very, I'm coming outward. Hello, everybody. Hello, your needs. Okay, now I'm going to step back and I'm realigning to me. And then it's very outward and inward kind of feeling that. And this is the incarnation, the 4 ways, which is those 4 different directions. It's very out and in and out and in. And I remember in Ibiza last year, I think it was Martin Grassinger who said that's amazing when you're in big groups like this. It's very energizing, but take bathroom breaks. And I was like, interesting. He was, yeah, be very diligent to be like, hey guys, I'm going to go pee and go and step away and have that time. Actually allow yourself and give yourself that permission to step away. So having that in the sun right now, because I struggled at first with that in my earth. I was like, how do I balance this? How am I there and present and with people, but then also step away, having both of those. So definitely encourage anybody, find what is your bathroom break that you get to if you're noticing that energy right now, like I need to retreat. And sometimes, again, it can feel a little bit interesting for other people. And I'm sure, Kathy, you've experienced this with me sometimes too, where I'm just like gone. And you're like, hi, because I'm very present. And then sometimes it's just I'm back within myself, processing and moving through things. So, yeah.
Well, as a line too, I actually really enjoy that. And I actually had to tell somebody yesterday when they were like, I feel like, if we don't, that I'm always the one initiating us talking. And I was like, because I was like, it's not that I don't want to talk, it's just that I live with people and you live alone. And I'm always like, I love all of you, but can you all just go away?
Yeah.
I'm like, any line twos relate? I love all of you. But I just need some space. And like I just love it when I have a day where nobody's home and I don't have a call. And I'm like, "Ooh, this is nice. I can be totally." And I'm just recently did a little thing on the little porch outside I have a little balcony area that we just covered outside of the master bedroom. And it's small, and I purposely just put one chair out there.
Mm.
And I'm like, no, I know I could maybe make room, but this is a clear sign that I don't want anyone out here. If I'm sitting out here versus our other downstairs porch, which has four chairs and a table and like all kinds of places people could hang out, I am up here. I am hermiting. This is very much, yeah. So, and was thinking about this while we were going through the lines, like when I was doing it on my own to write the forecast and stuff. But I was thinking about what it's like to have this energy in the second line, how that
Mm.
would really layer on that. And then I thought about that I have a grown niece. All my nieces are grown because I'm old enough, that old, and she has 33 and 19 as her design, sun and earth.
Mm.
And she's a projector with a
Mm.
lot of openness, you
Mhm.
know. And I think, ooh, that's really sensitive energy. But she has the whole 1949 channel. And I
Mm.
was wondering if there's anybody who can comment. I'm curious what it's like to have the hanging gate 19 on an undefined root where it's
Mm.
really variable. And I'm wondering if how that sensitivity comes across, with that variability, how you've experienced that and how you've learned to navigate that. That would be something I'd really love for people to comment. And
Mm. Yeah, just to read some comments real quick. Karen said, agreed, Kathy, I'm making major life change and moves. I realized I've been telling others about my plans without having them fully formed. I think I've been looking for validation outside instead of trusting my intuition. Yes. Okay, that makes me laugh about the fridge.
right.
Yes, I love that. Jillian, hello, ladies. Hello, Jillian. I have both of these gates in channel 1945. And it's true about the fridge and the pantry. Yes, I even think, yep, the pantry too. Yep. If there's like a food shortage, we've got so much here. Hi, yo. My Chiron is 33.3. Yes. Oh, I start a new job on Monday. Jillian, amazing. Celebrating you. Let us know how that's going. Casey Daly. Hello, Casey. If anybody wants to join us on the actual Zoom, Kathy's pinned that in here as well. Connecting my
Yeah.
conscious, yeah. So conscious Venus 33.6, connecting my conscious Earth 13.5, reflection and aloneness. Yes. Specifically, journaling has always helped me. Yes, yes. Yeah, Casey, if you want to come and share a little bit more about what that feels like for you.
So, and I just want to make it clear, like we are doing a few things different with this. We're just trying some different stuff. And one of the things that Jess and I decided is we were going to start by going through the energies more specifically, doing the transit, the cosmic weather, and then open it up more to this like conversational sharing because we think this is really important. But we also know that sometimes people don't have a lot of time and they want to just get the info and be done. So we were going to do more the info part in the beginning, like the first half of the hour, and then the second half of the hour more about sharing, that sort of thing. So
Yeah, yeah,
and I'd
absolutely.
love to know what people, if you think that the cosmic weather, that line has any value beyond just our Jess and I laughing. And it's entertaining. Does it give you perspective on the lines? Does it help in any sort of way? So,
Or is it like a lot of words and you're like, what is happening, right? Would love to hear or like any recommendations, or we're definitely open. Jillian said, I'm watching whilst I prepare dinner. Well, welcome, except I'm in UK.
yeah,
Amazing. Ooh, having some supper. Yum, enjoy.
right.
And then, hi, Casey. And Lisa, I would love to hear, you said you have all your centers defined. How does that feel right now, too?
I'm not on camera because like I'm not camera ready at the
No
moment. I woke
problem.
from a very long nap. Earlier in the week, I got all of my energy back and was like on Sunday I was buzzing around like the busiest bee ever. And when it was time to go to bed, I'm like, I'm not tired. But I'm not tired. I'm not tired. I'm not tired. And today I crashed. Like I've been doing like a lot of exercise, like 5 out of the last 7 days. I don't know what to make of all of my of all of those emotional waves being connected, because I'm not really feeling anything at the moment. So there's no tension, there's no pressure, there's no push. It just feels like easy breezy summer at the moment to
Okay.
me. There's nothing that I'm reacting or really need to respond to. I think the cosmic weather and the Schumann resonances, yes. I'm keeping a very big eye on that. But other than that, I just, it things are flowing along. It's interesting to me to have my spleen, as defined at the moment, because my spleen is totally open. And that could be why I'm not feeling any sort of emotional things, because the fears and things that normally flow through me that are other people's thing, I'm not feeling that at the moment. Like, I can be around people and I'm not necessarily picking up on their fears. And you know what? That is welcome every day.
Right. Yeah. That's interesting. You mentioned the Schumann resonance, and I do want to get to you, Casey, in a minute, but I hadn't looked at it, so of course I was just like, oh, let me just look really quick and see what's going on with it. And holy cow, for those of you who don't know, this is the Schumann resonance, not the residence. Um, and this is the 30th, and here's the 29th here. So like this has been, we had a little bit of some downtime where we could feel like a little bit more normal human beings. And now it's starting again, but I think we all had to recover from, look at all this. This was the
Yeah.
28th. Here's the 29th, and now here's the 30th. So
And the ones on the 30th is more about integration.
yeah.
But then, all of the downloads. So the sort of long spikes, but not with all of the light power, are all
This
about
is
integration coming in.
where you see all that white, that's where the intense, and so just for those who don't know what the heck we're talking about, because this is not a human design thing, this is actually scientifically measuring the vibration of the earth.
Yep.
So, and there's a way to read all of these things, which it sounds like maybe Lisa, you understand better than I do. And I just need to get a nice little tutorial somewhere. So if anybody has a tutorial for me of how to make more sense of this, all I know is I open it and I see a lot of white and I go, that's why.
I,
That's
I,
pretty much how I read it.
I follow somebody on Instagram. I think she's called Galactic Soul, and she explains these
Okay.
things. And that's how I'm getting it now. It's like that's how I'm starting to understand. And what she said this morning is that the lines, the sort of sharp, short, not short, sharp, but you know, not like you opened up the sunlight completely, but that you just opened it a little. It's like you open it and you close it. You open it and you close it. That's why the long spikes that don't feel very intense and don't look intense. Whereas the ones that you said on the 29th, that's incredibly intense. It's like, oh my God, somebody forgot to close the
Right.
the window and the sun is just coming in and melting everything down. But this is just like, she likened it to um like 2.0, 2.1. So 2.0 is the massive light coming in. And then 2.1 is like, oh, that wasn't quite right. So let's just fix that and then fix that. So that's the little fixes that are coming in and giving people time to integrate all that. And I'm grateful for the integration time, because when it's really, really open, I am so tired during that time.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just another layer to everything. So we've got this sensitivity, this energy to retreat, and we're bombarded with all these things like and I haven't looked at the solar flares or anything lately, but we won't go there. So,
Mhm.
so Casey, did you want to share about your experience with this energy right now? What's going on with you? Thanks, Lisa.
The Schumann resonance thing was really interesting just now, because over the weekend I was like, I had so much energy to do so many things and unusually actually as a projector, like, and I just kept taking natural breaks and going, flowing, doing. And then I started my period and I thought, well, I'm just tired. I'm just tired now because like after all that weekend stuff and was so successful over the weekend. And so now I'm just like so tired. Like I couldn't, yesterday I went to bed at like 7 p.m. or something. My kids were like, why are you so tired? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just so like tired for like the past 2 days. I was so tired. And I'm like, it's probably an emotional low. It's probably my hormones. It's probably la 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 la. Like it's just perfect, right? It's all of it, but it's also the Schumann resonance too, which makes a lot of sense. Like I was bombarded by these neutrinos and now I'm like there's like this lack of it. So anyway, interesting. Thank you for the share on that. And I always get super interested by the neutrinos and how the Schumann resonance is always like syncs up to our transits, and like how you can experience all that, right? But anyway, so 33, yeah, I woke up this morning. Yeah, I think what Lisa said, like having just like this sense of finally, like we're here, we're out of 31 and we're like I love 33 because it's my conscious Venus and yeah,
It's
so
extra
it's just
funny because it's your Venus. It's what you love.
I love it. I love being alone. I love retreat. I've always like even when I was a little girl, like my favorite thing to do would be to like sit in a tree and journal. Like I'd be one of those weird kids that would just be like sitting alone and journaling and writing and like all the other kids are wanting to play and I'm like I'm happy in my little tree here, and writing my stories. So um I think that's very like 3319 energy, like sitting in nature and just being and you're alone, like writing with the prodigal energy that I have. So but yeah, I love 33. It's my one of my favorite energies whenever I see it in somebody. I'm like, I always feel like connection to them in some way.
Yeah.
Love that.
So do you
Mm.
have either the 19 or the 49?
No, but I've always like, I think because I have the 3740, I always really resonate with someone who has the 1949. Like I get them in their wave cycle and their way of looking at the world and stuff like this. I just
Yeah.
love that root energy, whenever they have the 1949, I'm like, oh, it's such a breath of fresh air for me to have someone around in my presence that has a strong supported. And I feel like the 1949 is one of my favorite root channels. When someone has it, out of all of them, really, that's one of my favorites. So I don't know
Why do
why.
you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I just love it because of I think it's the tribal, it's the connection to the solar plexus. Um, I don't know. And it's mystical too. So I
And
get
but
that
you have a
part too.
defined solar plexus, right?
Yeah, yeah. And so
You
yeah,
have
I
the
have that
3740?
3740, yeah, as well, which is also tribal. So it's like there's like a resonance there. But I think because of the root aspect, like pulling up that resources and pulling it in, it's always fascinating to me whenever someone has the 1949. It's very like, I feel like it's like romantic in a way, but
Hmm.
like not not in like a sexy or whatever. It's just like really grounded, kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like the husband wife kind of thing that you
Yes.
get from that channel
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
someone has it.
That's beautiful. That's a big part of it too with the 19, the husband wife. I'm so glad you brought that up because that's a huge part in that, like not losing yourself in that marriage, right? That you still get to have the resources of getting married, right? Of coming together, but not losing that piece of yourself is so, so important in that 19. Yeah, I feel that one.
Yeah.
49 is the
deeply.
gate of marriage and divorce, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that bond, and it's like whenever someone has it, you just feel it's like, I don't know, just a really grounded sense of, and it's always sad to me whenever I see someone going through a divorce that has that channel, because I'm like, oh, my heart breaks for you even more because I just
Yes.
know how much that means for you, and
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sorry, kids are here.
So, um, yeah,
Hi,
it's
guys.
interesting. My daughter has gate 49 on her undefined solar plexus. That's the only gate she has. She is a manifester. And no one in our family has a hanging gate 19. Um, and it's so funny just to hear, like, and my experience with people who have the 1949 is I usually don't feel it unless I feel it from them. You know what I mean? Like the disappointment,
Mm.
the that, and we're talking about the whole channel here just because they work together. The 49 is not defined right now at all. But that 1949, so many times those people are upset because they did not say anything until they, right? And it is when you think about a marriage, that's the success in a marriage is being able to talk about things before you're ready for the divorce, right? And it's that gate 49 can be like, everything's wonderful. I'm all in, or like, I'm done,
Yeah.
So yeah, um, it's interesting. It's interesting to observe how that 49 though works on my daughter. And she was gone before the transit changed to go to work today. So she'll have that feeling of the defined solar plexus. And I didn't read it yet, but I already saw a text that I can tell is complaining.
You see, you feel it, you feel it. Yes.
Is she
It's
very
interesting.
picky about her partners, her romantic partners?
Oh,
Like,
she hates everyone.
like
At this
very
point, she's very picky. Yeah, and I don't want to get too much into her publicly here or
sure.
whatever.
Right.
Yeah, she definitely she does not compromise at all. She does
Mhm.
not compromise. She
High standards. Yeah.
yeah, she has very high standards and she has said she does not want to get married, but she does want to have a wedding. So she's not sure what to do.
I feel that. I did not want to get married either, but I wanted the dress and I wanted like the getting all the
Right?
friends together and doing all the things and the bows.
Yeah, she wants to say yes to the dress experience
Yes
and not
to the
to say
dress.
yes to the mess afterwards, right?
Yes, so we should have a different version of that for all us romantics that are like, no, but we don't actually want to get married.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I love that you
Yeah.
mentioned like that romantic side to it. I don't have the 49, but I feel like I'm deeply romantic. Like that romantic, I
Mhm.
mean, like hello, there's Beauty and the Beast. Like I feel like half my life is just in that like romance and like fantasy and that beautiful possibility of it. It's super interesting though. People that have that whole channel, I've talked to some of them and there's been this experience where they're like, I wish I just wasn't so like principled and so like I can't do this and I'm not doing this, but they just have this urge and they're like, no, I'm not doing this, because of my principles. And it's like sometimes disruptive to their lives because they're just like, this is my thing. I'm not doing this. I'm out. And having to say something and like, why did I have to say something? Couldn't I just, go through it? Yeah.
I think it's what also I like about people with that. That's like it's
Mm.
so I think when someone has that, they're able to just be like, this is what, yes or no. There is no like gray, I feel like there's no gray area as far as when it comes to what they're willing to like be available for.
Yeah.
I guess especially as if they're a generator, sixth line or something like this, like they're very like they're in or they're out, hot or cold. And
Yeah.
um yeah, so it's always interesting whenever you see someone like that who is like willing to experiment with it. And then at the end of the experiment, they're like, no, it's still not.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll test it. No, it's just not. So
It's just Grand life experiment of all of it. Love it.
Yeah. But I do
So you
gotta
think,
jump. It was so good to talk to you guys.
oh, you too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh,
Thank you,
so good to
Kate.
see you. Yeah.
Just
Love you.
yeah. Like,
Before we sign off, Jess, I'm wondering if you have a thought on what Belle's design would be if you're associating her with gate
Ooh.
19. What do you think?
Mm.
What do you think her design would be?
Mm. So I'm going to preface this with like whenever I try to go, oh, I think this person is this thing, and I get their chart, I'm like, oh fuck. It's never it's never right. Let me see. Belle. I feel like she's got that sensitivity, but there's that tenacity to her as well, right? Um and she's definitely got a 19. I feel like she has a 19 in there and like such a deep sensitivity. I think, okay, maybe I'm seeing myself in Belle. I'm seeing like some 2750 in there too. Um, Deep caring profile. I feel more not generator, maybe projector energy
Yeah,
with
so she
Belle.
can't have the whole 2750, but I'm thinking she
Then
probably
yeah.
has the 27.
The 27, well, she's values though, but maybe not values. Maybe the 50, maybe she has the 49, but then she can't have the 19. Well, actually, she could be an emotional. Okay, so let's play with that. Emotional projector with the 27. She's definitely got a 2. Oh, no, she's got a 1. She likes to read.
Yeah, a lot of
Ooh,
people like to read that are not ones. She's not
Harmony.
reading, she's reading fiction. The
She's
one is,
reading fun. She's not
yeah, she's reading,
investigating. So
yeah.
2. Yeah. Okay. 2. And I'm feeling like maybe some 6 energy in there too. Maybe like a 6 too.
At
Why
first I
we're
was gonna say 4-6, and now that you were saying 2, I'm thinking maybe 2-4, because I think she is, I see her as, I could see her as a 2-4, cross of the four ways, actually.
I could see
There
that.
for the pivot, right?
Yeah.
Definitely pivoted, her family, all of that stuff. And she's got that fourth line energy to me too. I
She
don't necessarily
does. Yeah.
see the
But
two.
there's also that trial and error in her, and she's resilient. There's like a resiliency in that line 3, which the 6 has that line 3. Um, and the
Okay, so here's our post. This is our follow-up post. What
Miss
is
Belle.
Belle's profile line? I agree with you. I think she's a projector. I
Yeah.
don't know that I'm convinced she's emotional. I don't know that she's not. I don't have a strong opinion on that. But I think she's either a 4-6 or a 2-4 personally.
Hmm.
And I think she is a projector. And obviously, we know she's a fictional character, so we can't really know unless we can find out when that was written, but that we would never know the exact day. So,
Maybe.
um,
Love it.
yeah. So
Okay.
she could have that whole 1949. She definitely has that connection with the mammals, right? So she's
Animals.
got
Yeah, the
that,
animals. Yeah,
right?
that's why it was funny
Yeah.
because Jonah was like, "You're like a Snow White. You like sing to the animals." That
I
19.
always said, do the birds tie your bows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really
Yeah.
surprised you don't have any pets.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, we are done for the day. Thanks, Lisa. Glad you were here, even
Everyone.
on camera. So thank you.
Mhm.
And yes, because Jess and I can just sit and talk all day, but I guess we could turn the cameras off now to do it. So anything else to say, Jess, before I cut you off?
No.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.